Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Thunder Today YouTube channel. I am your host, Dylan Hibbard, and in today's video, we're going to just kind of go over the Thunder's 5-0 start, dive more into and kind of get my thoughts on it so far and kind of where I think we are heading. We'll also talk about A.J. Mitchell as the sixth man of the year. I think he's leading in that race so far this year, but I will also kind of be on the pessimistic side of things and kind of talk about why I think that might not be the case for the entire year because of some other factors. We'll talk about the Wizards Thunder tomorrow or tonight. They will be taking on the Wizards. We'll kind of dive into that matchup that the Thunder should take care of. And then at the end, we'll kind of talk about injury updates as it concerns to tonight's game as well. But don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, guys. It helps out the channel so much. It gets it out to more people so more people can see. So if you have the chance, especially if you watch the videos daily, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. But just to kind of get into the Thunder's 5-0 start, obviously everybody should know at this point Thunder have started off 5-0, and it's kind of been a roller coaster of things. We had the two double overtime games against the Rockets and then the Pacers. So you go back-to-back double overtime games, win those in crazy fashions. Then you go into Atlanta. You take care of business in Atlanta, and you kind of look like, okay, now you're going to be in cruise control, start winning games by double digits just like you did a record amount last year, and just kind of get into hopefully a good starting point before, and then kind of set yourself up for when J-Dub comes back. But then you go into Dallas, and you were up by quite a bit at the start of the fourth quarter, but you let Dallas just hang around, and they made a major comeback to a point where it was a 1-point game, and the Thunder almost choked that away, but luckily they were able to hold on and win on that one. And then you had a few nights ago against the Sacramento Kings, a team that you should take care of pretty easily most nights, and you let them hang around, and you were trailing until about 3 minutes left in the game against the Kings. So you just haven't looked that great really outside of the Atlanta Hawks one. And yeah, you looked good in the Rockets one, being able to pull that out, having to go to back-to-back overtimes against a Pacers team who doesn't have Miles Turner, and Tyrese is out, kind of sucks. But yeah, you don't have J-Dub. You finally look good against the Hawks, but then you look like you were going to blow out Dallas, but you let them come back in the fourth and almost win. And then you were pretty much trailing most of the game against Sacramento. So overall, the Thunder's 5 wins haven't looked that great. It looks like a team that is going to be in the running for 70 wins just because of their talent alone that they have, and they're so deep that even on nights and a stretch like these first 5 games where the Thunder have not shot well from beyond the arc at all and have really been one of the worst teams in the league at shooting a three, their defense is so good, and now they're so experienced and just know how to win games, especially even when they're trailing late in games or just close late games. Now when you have that championship and you know how to go about it, you just are so much harder to beat, and the Thunder just feel like even when you don't have J-Dub and you don't have Chet out there, when you're missing 3 or 4 of key role players that will be playing in the playoffs, and you can still go out there and just really control it from a standpoint of Shea controlling the offense, and now really a guy we're about to talk to in A.J. Mitchell, who has really taken over. But you also have guys like Aaron Wiggins, Isaiah Hartenstein, and guys all like this. But the guy right now I want to talk about in A.J. Mitchell is kind of taken that role and really ran with it. He's averaging 18.2 points on the team. He's third in scoring behind Chet and Shea, and a lot of people talking about now how he could possibly be sixth man of the year or even most improved player of the year, which they kind of don't like giving to second-year players because it always feels like you're going to improve no matter what from your rookie year to the next year. But in certain cases, when players like A.J. Mitchell go from averaging only like 7-8 points before getting injured, then coming right out of the gate and just averaging near 20, you kind of have to acknowledge that. But on the kind of pessimistic side of things, something I kind of want us to think about is how he's doing this without J-Dub, and the fact of when J-Dub comes back, and now we're going to talk about in the injury updates, Chet, but when they both come back, Isaiah Joe's expected to come back pretty soon. You're going to have Nikola Topic getting minutes. When all those guys come back and now J-Dub is getting the second most amount of touches, we talked about how Chet's going to have to kind of get his touches too, obviously, now what he's doing. Obviously, A.J. Mitchell's still going to have that ball handler role, that scoring role off the bench, but he's not going to be consistently touching the ball as much when J-Dub and all these guys are back, just because they're all that guys that will use the ball, will want to score. And especially when Shea comes out, there's not a lot of minutes out on the floor when Shea's out there that J-Dub's not out there. Usually J-Dub's out there and he's probably going to run point, but maybe now that A.J. Mitchell's doing so good, you still have A.J. Mitchell run the point with J-Dub out there, but still J-Dub would be the first option. So his touches and his minutes are going to go down. That means his scoring is going to go down. I don't expect him to average 18 points all year. I don't think most of us do. So that's why I'm like, obviously, yes, he's in the running for sixth man of the year, and maybe he levels out his averages to around 14, 4, and 4. Maybe you can talk about him in sixth man of the year categories, but nowadays with how good sixth man are, we're just not how good. We're not sure if that'll be enough, because I just don't see him going out there averaging 18, especially when Shea's going to average 34, 35, who knows. J-Dub's probably going to be averaging around 24, 25, maybe Chet's around that 20 points per game mark. You're probably going to dip to that 12 to 14 range, and you also have guys like Aaron Wiggins, who's going to be right around 5 points, and Caruso and Wallace. There's just so many guys. It's like, yes, right now he is averaging 18, but expect when J-Dub comes back, that'll probably dip down pretty significantly over the amount once J-Dub's back. Probably expect it to see to dip in that 12 to 14 range, but we'll kind of see. Maybe he's just playing that well where even when J-Dub's back, he's still able to be efficient and continue to get maybe double-digit scoring nights consistently with less touches once J-Dub is back out there. But we'll now kind of talk about the game tonight. The Wizards are visiting OKC tonight. And once again, Wizards are just one of those teams like the Kings, that one of the worst teams in the entire league, not just the Eastern Conference, but the entire NBA. And for the Wizards, I mean, no disrespect, but when your best player is probably Keontae George or maybe even Alex Sarr, you just know that you're supposed to be towards the bottom, try to get one of those top 3 picks in this 2026 draft. So Thunder should go in there. They should win this one pretty handedly, try to maybe even get it to a point where you don't have to even worry about playing Shea in the fourth quarter much at all, and maybe get him a rest since you had those 2 double overtime games last week, and maybe get guys like Brooks Barnhizer and all those guys some minutes on the floor as well, especially against a team. I mean, they have Trey Johnson, the 6th pick in the draft. I really like what he could do for his rookie year, but they are a very bad team. The Thunder should take pretty easily care of this. Obviously, we thought about that the same way with the Kings, but you never know. But Wizards feel like they know they want to be tanking right now with just how young they are, with just how well-rounded the Thunder. I feel like the Thunder could run their 8 through 13 the entire game and probably stick right there with the Wizards the entire time. That's just how deep the Thunder are. But kind of an injury update for the rosters, kind of wrapping everything up. Isaiah Joe is finally upgraded to questionable. Still not sure if he will play. If he doesn't play in this one, I'm sure we're going to see him on Sunday afternoon against the Pelicans at home. Chet is out. He's expected to miss the game once again. J-Dub stays out. He's still a little bit ways from returning, but we might see Chet on Sunday as well, and if we don't see them, we'll see them towards the very beginning of next week on that Monday and Tuesday. But just for this game against the Wizards, no Chet and J-Dub, but that shouldn't be a big deal with the Wizards. Everybody else seems like they're going to be ready to go. Isaiah Joe's questionable. If he's kind of iffy, I would just hold it off until Sunday when you get the Pelicans. But if he feels like going, get him out there, maybe get a game, few minutes under his leg against the Wizards, and then he can go out there and do a lot more on Sunday against the Pelicans. But those are the injuries updates, so pretty standard stuff. Just Chet, no Chet, and J-Dub. Once again, they should be Chet will be back somewhat soon. We still don't really have a timetable on J-Dub, so hopefully he can get back and get out there soon. But I mean, hey, we're 5-0. nothing really to complain about from the Thunder side of things, just continuing to go at it. But that'll be it for me today, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Just let me know what you thought about the Thunder season so far down low. What do you think about the 5-0 start? What do you think about all these injuries? And what do you really think about A.J. Mitchell, what his stat line and kind of his progression will look once Jado gets back? But that'll be it for me, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.